So, you want to make your own podcast. Well, Audacity can make that happen. This free open source software can make anyone sound like a professional podcaster. So let's get started using Audacity. Podcasting can change the way that you get your point across. This quick start tutorial will cover the basics. The first 3 things to know: starting a new project, editing and adding effects to your soundtracks, and saving and exporting your podcast. Starting a new project is easy. Let's take a look. So we've started Audacity. Our first step is going to be to go ahead and import a music file so that we have some background music. So let's go ahead and bring that in right here. We're going to see it pop up. That makes it ready for us to also record our first voice file. So hit record. And this is our first podcast. We want to make sure that we see our voice appearing in that lower track. As you can see, as I speak, it turns blue. To play it back to make sure it worked. And this is our first podcast. We got some good sound. Now we're going to save this and we'll come back to it. A quick recap. Start a new project. Import your background tracks, record your voiceover, and finally check your work and don't forget to save. Now the fun part. Let's put a little polish on this podcast. So we're back in our recording. We're going to be using effects. So when you click here, you see all the effects that we have. First thing we want to do, I think, is going to be to select some voice here. Let's go ahead and add a little bass to our voice. So let's go ahead and add some bass. We're going to kick our bass up a little bit. Let's make me sound a little more professional. The other thing we want to do here at the beginning is to also do a fade in. So let's go ahead and fade in right here. We're going to add the effect fade in. And we're going to also add the fade in to our music. Add fade in. And we're going to just listen to that. Yeah, that sounds good. And then the last thing that we're going to do is just add a little mix. Let's take our music down just a little bit so we can make sure we can hear the voice real good. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and save that work again. In this step, we set our mix so everyone can hear us. Then we added some effects to improve the sound, and then another sound check and save. Now you have a podcast. So, how do you save it and get ready for the world to hear you? Our podcast, we need to get it out of our computer. So we're going to export the audio, and we're going to export it as an MP3 file. And we're going to put it somewhere where we can find it, maybe on your desktop or in one of your folders. Once you export it as an MP3 file and you name it right here where the blue bar is, you are ready to broadcast. Congratulations, you have your first podcast. Next time, intermediate editing. See you soon. This work is protected under a license of Creative Commons.
Created using Powtoon.